Good evening, and welcome to tonight's meeting of the Fort Wayne Community School Board of Trustees. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Steve, you want to begin the roll call?
Yes, thank you. Good evening. Steve Corona from the 5th District.
Glenna Yale from the 2nd District.
Tom Smith, 3rd District.
Maria Norman, Member at Large.
Ann Duff, Member at Large.
Jordan Lebemoff, the 4th District.
And I'm Julie Hollingsworth, elected from District 1, and on my far left is Barb Trout, the clerk of the board, and Dr. Robinson, our superintendent. Good evening. We begin with, and this is my first attempt at going paperless, although I do have my little cheat sheet here beside me if I need it, but I'm going to try using my laptop. So if I get completely out of whack, Ann will jump in and save me if I lose my way. We begin with the recognitions, and first of those is the Indiana University Honors Program in Foreign Languages.
Can I do this one?
Absolutely, Jordan, take it away.
This one's special to me because my son Sebastian went on it a year or so ago. And it really meant a lot to my wife and I to have him exposed overseas in the program and mature. And it meant more to his little brother because big brother wasn't around messing with him. It's recommended that the board recognize the Southside High School students who've been selected to participate in the Indiana University Honors Program in Foreign Languages. The IU-HPFL is a 5 to 6 week study abroad program for Indiana school students. The program combines academic instruction, a mandatory, an absolutely mandatory commitment to speak only in the foreign language of the country that you're visiting, a full-time integration with a host family. On average, 30 to 35 students are selected to participate each year at different program sites during June and July. To be eligible to participate in the program, a high school must first offer or plan to offer 4 or more years of instruction in Chinese, French, German, Japanese, or Spanish. Upon returning from their program, students are required to actively support their foreign language department and contribute to the classroom. Southside High School students Benjamin High, Dolores Juarez, and Virgil Towns will spend time in France. Please come forward so that we may congratulate you. Is this Benjamin?
Yes.
Okay, the first thing they will do when you land in France is they will take away your cell phone.
All right.
You're aware of that? We have Mr. Buzzard, Taylor Buzzard, teacher at Southside High School, and Principal Carl Mabel. And Mr. Buzzard, I signed up Julian for your trip to Quebec and Montreal. I told him that I will not show up in Quebec and embarrass him, but when you're at the Basilica of Notre Dame, you should look for me in the first pew on the left.
Parents are close, you can't take a photo way back there. Come on, be proud.
And Mr. Buzzard, if I see you, I assume they're all going to France.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Folks, what city? Mr. Buzzard, what cities are they going to?
They're going to Zambia and
Come up here, Mr. Buzzard, so we can hear it on TV.
they'll be visiting Saint-Brieuc, Saumur, and Brest. So it's all in the northwest part of France, in
In the
Normandy.
Loire area.
Yes.
Sebastian went to somewhere else.
Yeah.
Had a real good time.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll enjoy it and they'll take full advantage of the opportunity, so. Thank
I'm
you for
sure that-
recognizing them.
And I assume each of them is staying with a different
Yes,
host
they'll all be
family?
at 3 different host families throughout the 3 different cities, so. They'll be cut off from each other, real growing up experience.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
parents.
Well, thank you. Congratulations. Now, didn't we also recognize some Northside students who were also going abroad? Is that the same program?
Same program.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
We did an after-action review of our wonderful award ceremonies the last couple of weeks, and we're going to do a little bit different arranging. The schools needs to let us know, and we're going to make sure that we have the same type of awards together so you can see the magnitude.
Right.
So Barb led that after-action review, and Kristen and Mel, and so we're going to try to make sure we organize it so that you can kind of see the connection.
Okay, great. Next, we have some Indiana PTA awards. The Fort Wayne Community Schools PTA staff and volunteers won some major Indiana PTA awards during a celebration at their annual convention in May. The Indiana PTA awards are presented in the categories of outstanding citizenship, outstanding website, outstanding journalism, honor units, outstanding social media, outstanding volunteer, outstanding partner, and outstanding counsel. Each of these awards are presented to the unit, volunteer, principal, or teacher that embodied the mission of the PTA and the collaborative process between teachers, parents, and administrators to shape the future of Indiana's youth. So if you would please come forward as your name is read. Outstanding website, Fort Wayne Area PTA Council, Kim Craighead, President. Also, outstanding website, Croninger Elementary PTA, Katie Carpenter, President. And also website, Jefferson Middle School PTSA, Brandy Baker, President. And we have outstanding volunteer, Elizabeth Bowers, Washington Center Elementary PTA. And Michelle Evans is the president of the Washington Center PTA. Outstanding membership achievement, Blackhawk Middle School, Alicia Shaw, president. And then outstanding social media, Blackhawk Middle School, Alicia Shaw, president.
Principals of those schools, if you're here, please come up.
And I was gonna say, yeah, I think the principals from Croninger and Jefferson and Blackhawk, I believe I saw you out there, so, and Washington Center, which you come forward to, because it is truly a partnership.
Definitely is. All right, now come on, we have to kind of scrunch. Your parents aren't here to take pictures. Never know.
Yeah, where are all the kids to take pictures of them? And I don't know if, Kim, you want to say anything on behalf of the Fort Wayne Area PTA? I mean, those are a lot of honors, so congratulations to you and the other schools. It's great.
Yes, yes, thank you. Just congratulations to all our schools, and thank you for all your hard work this year. It's been great working with all of you, and look forward to doing it again next year.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Next, we have the consent agenda. And the consent agenda, those are items that come before us every business meeting. They include the approval of the minutes from the previous 2 meetings, May 8th and May 15th. They include the vouchers and payroll. And those vouchers, of course, are on file for like 7 years to be viewed by the public. And then the personnel report. And Dr. Robinson, was there anything in the personnel report that you wanted to highlight or mention?
Yes, if you notice in the personnel report, the body of it, there are several administrators who've been assigned to the new Center for Academic Success. Those interviews were complete, and most of those names are familiar to you, so we are finalizing that. But it's with great pleasure that I announce that Nikki Sprunger will be the new Director of Special Ed. Nikki, I see you. Stand up, please. We just like to embarrass people when they come. She joins us after 36 years of education experience, is currently the Special Ed Director for the Adams Wells Special Services Cooperative in Bluffton. I could read on and on and on and on, but you'll get to meet her. I think one of the most important parts is that recently she was the Special Education Director for, well, that's not really the title. She took a position with Adams Wells, was the last position she was in. But she is filling a vacancy that we've had vacant probably for a little bit over about a year. And so we're extremely pleased to have you here with us. Welcome.
Extremely pleased to be here.
Thank you.
Congratulations,
Welcome.
welcome. So, do we have a motion?
I'd move approval of the 3 items listed under the consent agenda.
Second?
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Glenna. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Looks like we have no old business. Moving on to new business, we have purchase of laptops. It's recommended that the board approve the purchase of 245 HP 650 G3 laptop computers from Process of Indianapolis for $212,451.25. The purchase of these 234 student laptops are for the educational programs, New Tech, Connexus, and Project Lead the Way, that require special specifications for software that is used in their curriculum. The remaining 11 computers are for the teachers of these programs and other support staff. Fort Wayne Community Schools was able to secure pricing that was below GSA pricing. Indiana law does not require public bidding for purchases made at or below GSA pricing. Funding comes from the Common School Fund, and Jack Bird, Director of Technology, is here to answer any questions. So do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thanks, Jordan. Thanks, Tom. Any questions?
Yeah, I'd just like to know, it says here that we have to buy the laptops for the students because requiring special specifications for the software. So what specifications are in the software that require these new laptops?
It depends on the program. Each program, the Project Lead the Way, New Tech, and Connexus has its set of requirements that each computer must meet. And so these computers all have a higher-end processor, and some have separate video that's not on board with the normal memory in order to handle like CAD programs and things of that nature.
Okay, so they're more sophisticated and they need
They're more
computers.
powerful,
More
yes.
powerful.
Yes.
Are any of these computers or laptops necessary for adaptive type of curriculum or assessments?
No, these are not adaptive devices. That would be handled under special education.
Okay.
You know, I'm familiar with New Tech, but I'm just curious, how many students do we have that take Connexus and Project Lead the Way? And do those have any caps, you know, similar to what we have at New Tech?
Jennifer, I know that the one cap is the students within the building can sign up, and
Right.
we had a cap of about 25 students per program from around the rest of the district. But we could probably get you those enrollment numbers.
I'm just curious.
But it's about 100, but we'll give you exact numbers
Okay.
for each of the programs.
And Connexus is at Northside?
Northside
And Project Lead the Way is Northrop?
and Snyder.
Northrop and Snyder.
Biomedical at Snyder and engineering at Northrop.
Okay.
And we'll talk about it, but that's a lot of the conversation we're going to have tomorrow. We're talking about where we're going in 17, 18. I'm getting
Okay.
ahead of myself.
Very good. Any other questions? Okay, all those in favor of approval signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. And next we have recommendation for digital copiers. It's recommended that the board approve a 5-year contract for the period from July 1st, 2017 to June 30th, 2022, with the vendor providing the lowest cost and most responsible and responsive proposal for digital convenience and production copy machines. And that vendor is Canoka Minolta out of Indianapolis, Indiana. And you've got the information in front of you as far as the costs. Our RFP specified a 5-year lease contract on a, now see, this is why, okay. It just went,
You touch it more often.
got as small as a business card. Okay.
Oh, it's wrong.
So anyways, we are replacing, on a cost per impression basis, 310 existing convenience digital copiers located throughout the district and 3 existing production copiers that are located in printing services. The contract includes equipment, maintenance, and all supplies except paper. The total annual cost is estimated at $840,000. The cost per impression for the convenience copiers reflects a 27% increase when compared to the last RFP awarded in 2011. The cost per impression for the production copiers at the print shop reflects an overall increase of 29% when compared to the last contract. There were RFP packages mailed to 19 vendors, 5 responding, and there was a bit of, okay, so the bidder, Advanced Imaging, Canon, for an Indiana Carbon Company, and Van Osdale and Farrar Inc. responded with no bid, and a bid of Adams Remco was rejected for not meeting all the RFP requirements. You can see the 4 responses that received from the following vendors, and in each of the, you can see their cost per impression there, and so Konica Minolta overall was the lowest bidder. And questions can be addressed by Director of Purchasing, Rod Rathke. Do we have a motion? Second?
So moved.
Second.
Thanks, Glenna. Thanks, Steve. Do we have any questions?
I just want to say that copiers, you would not believe how much controversy it causes when you move one. And so there was an extensive project done to figure out what was most effective and where they needed to be. And so it might not have been a one-to-one replacement, so I'm just kind of warning you, if people get extremely concerned about having copiers or not, call Kathy.
Yeah, I do have one
And
question.
then there's always the retraining, and,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, you gotta
Yeah.
teach the old dogs new tricks, and, you know, that's,
Was
I understand.
Konica Minolta the same provider back in 2011, or is this a brand-new provider?
This is a new provider.
Yeah, this is a new provider. Canon was our previous vendor.
Okay, they did bid, but not, okay, I see
Yeah,
it. Thank
yep.
you very much.
Yep,
Okay, I have a
And-
quick question, too.
sure.
Now, we're going to take the old copiers, and you're going to help us to unload them somehow? Is
Yeah.
that correct?
Yes, Konica Minolta is, when they put in the new copier, the old Canon copier, they will remove that. They will load those onto trucks, store them for us down in Indianapolis. Once we get them all down there, there will be a competitive process through brokers that they have contacts with that they will help us then sell to generate a little revenue on our old.
Right, I just saw that they have a projection of how much we'll get for the old ones.
Right.
But what cut are we splitting with them?
That we're splitting it 50/50.
50/50. So
Yes.
for their services to take them away,
To
it's
take
going
them
to be,
into transport
you're
and
going to
back.
get a significant chunk of that, is what you're
Yeah,
saying?
they get half, and that's, yes,
Okay, just wondered what that was. And then could you talk a little bit about how complex the security needs are of our of our corporation, especially in this, I mean, we've got
Yes, we
all
have,
kinds of data breaches going on. So what is built in as far as security? Just.
yeah, there was a requirement in the specifications for data encryption to be done every 24 hours on all the machines, and it meets Department of Defense standards, the same specification that they do, so that was a requirement for any vendor, regardless of who we would have chosen. So it's a secure encryption system that's done.
Okay, and then will the people who are using the copiers also have to have access to them and to certain files, or how do you
Yeah,
get that set up?
well, individual users, one of the things that we've added, will be using our identification cards to authenticate at the machines, which will be a more secure way for secure document printing, and also knowing who's doing what on our copiers. So it'll be a better system that we have right now, which is a PIN code number, which works okay, but will be a much more secure way.
Awesome, thank you.
And these are copiers as well as a printer for my computer?
Yes, you can print to them just like you would print to a printer, but this is a less expensive way to do it. The cost per image is less on a copier versus like a DeskJet type printer.
We don't have to print from your
You don't
computer, right?
You don't have to. You could, as far as printing, you would, if you're at your desktop, obviously you would do it from there, but you can walk up, copy also, yep.
Okay.
So if I want a copier for my home office, I can't just buy one, huh?
Well, you probably could, but that would be I don't know, that would be a little different story trying to.
I'm kidding. Well, thanks for all your work on this, because I know this was a big
Yes, it was.
process.
Yes, it was. So,
Okay.
okay, thanks.
Okay, thank you. So seeing no other questions, all those in favor of accepting this contract, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Well, tonight, we have no reports or other information, so that wraps up our business, and we'll now have member comments, so,
Comments from this end? Thank you.
okay?
I don't have any either.
Nothing tonight?
No comment.
No comment?
No comments.
Work
Dr.
session
Robinson?
tomorrow, focus for 17, 18, I keep saying 18, 19. I'm rushing the year. Want to talk about the priorities we've set, and in light of really some of the contracts we need to sign to get some of that done, thought it would be a good idea if we had an opportunity to ask questions, talk about why. And so it'll be cabinet members looking over those priorities, explaining, and more than likely, what we'll need to do is, as the year progresses, we'll talk about how we're going to measure and monitor and do follow-up. So starts at 5, will be this room? Okay, we'll be in this room tomorrow at 5. We'll try to keep it, probably be an hour, hour and a half, because it's quite a bit of information. But we'll also send you hard copies of things, not tomorrow, but after we have our conversation, so 5 o'clock tomorrow.
Okay. I do want to mention, extend our condolences. We lost a staff member Saturday evening, Terrence Smiles, am I correct? And really involved in 2 different buildings. He worked at Forest Park and also coached football at Northside, and, anyone who coaches knows how involved on a personal level students get with those adults. So we want to extend condolences, not only to his family, but, to students and staff who have worked with him in both buildings. Also, wanted to mention, there was an article, I know I am not very fond of things that the Indiana legislature does a lot of time with respect to public education, but there is one very good thing that I believe the legislature did, that they enacted, I think in 2016, and those are the future teacher scholarships. So recently announced, I think there were 200 students who have declared their intent to go into the field of education. And so they get, it's called the Next Generation Hoosier Educator Scholarship, $7,500 per year. And then they agree to return and teach in Indiana for 5 years after graduation. And I really think that is a great thing. There were 14 from Allen County, including 4 from Fort Wayne Community Schools. Logan Kruger from Southside, who's going to attend Ball State. Elizabeth Lester from Northrop, who's going to attend Ball State. Jensen Polderman from Snyder, attending IPFW. And Haley Richards from Northrop, attending IPFW. So, congratulations to them. And, we've heard a lot of talk in the last 2 or 3 years about teacher shortage, and I think this is a step in the right direction to have that kind of program. So, kudos to the legislature for setting that up. So I don't have anything else. I'll see you tomorrow for our work session, and then if anyone wants to comment after we adjourn, the microphone will be open.
Move for adjournment?
Second.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Tom. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we are adjourned.